thing that I really try to convey when I talk to girls, whether it's that are shadowing or in the halls or parents or even just anyone that asks, is I think the coolest part about being here and the most exciting part for me is how many opportunities there are for the girls to participate. I'm going to touch on this in a little bit, but this past fall, over half the school participated in sports, which is so cool because it's really a great community builder. And you see so many of the girls in different grades and different interests outside the classroom and outside of school coming together for all the clubs and opportunities, but also the athletics department. And that's really, really cool to see so many kids participating. So we're going to talk a little bit about, why is it not switching for me? There we go. Okay. So like it says here, opportunities, we have 12 different sports that we offer with 17 teams across those sports. Some of our sports have a JV and varsity option, whereas some only have varsity, and a lot of times that's just limited based on numbers. In the fall, like I said, we had over half of our school participating. That is definitely our biggest season by far. As you can see, there's 8 different sports available during that season. So it's a really busy time. But what's also really cool is that a lot of the girls, when you're trying out as a transfer or as in just a younger student, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, that can be intimidating coming into a new school and a new environment, meeting older girls and new coaches and things like that. But it's awesome because they come in August. Usually we start around the 3rd week of August. They come in and they go through 2 weeks of preseason, probably not the most pleasant time in the season, lots of running and fitness and things like that. But it's so cool because that's when they really get tight knit and close as a team. And it's so cool because then the first day of school, they come in, nice new uniform, and all of a sudden they have so many friends and acquaintances from all the different grades and different classes. And it's really exciting to see them so excited on the first day to see each other and things like that. So it's a great way to just become a part of the community, even if they're not what they would consider like an elite top athlete. Like that doesn't mean that they still can't participate and enjoy it and really get a lot out of the sports experience. So that's really cool with the fall. The winter, we have 2 sports and offered, and then in the spring there's 3 more. So it's just a great way for the girls to all year round really have an outlet that's not academic, and to just enjoy it and enjoy each other and learn so much about themselves. And for me personally, I think that it's so important that we are learning outside of the classroom, because that really just our entire education together, and just learning about our teammates and our coaches. And I mean, some of my biggest mentors in my life have been coaches that I've had, and I'm blessed enough to still have them in my life. So that's really near and dear to my heart that that's conveyed, and that the girls are all able to experience that here if they want to. So as we move into just a little bit about the process of switching in to the school, obviously since we start in 6th grade, a lot of the girls that we get are transfers, whether it's 7th, 8th, 9th, or even 10th through 12th. But so as a 6th grader, we're not able to participate in sports in the league level, like across from school to school. That's just a statewide mandate. You can't start until 7th grade. 7th and 8th grade, most schools, especially public schools with the numbers that they have, they're able to have modified JV and varsity teams. At the moment, we just field JV and varsity teams, but if there's more interest, that it will allow us to be able to have more teams at those levels, especially at the modified level, which, like I said, we don't have at the moment. But so if you would like to participate as a 7th or 8th grader, that's awesome. We highly encourage that. And it's so cool to see the younger girls participating with the older girls. It's just a little fitness test that they have to pass that essentially shows that they are physically ready to participate at the same level as some of these older girls, 16, 17, they're driving themselves to games, and you want to make sure that the younger girls are able to also safely compete at that level. 9th and 10th grade, if you were to transfer in those years, you are eligible for JV or varsity pending your previous experience. If you came from a school where you just played modified or just played JV, you're able to be eligible for JV and varsity. If you already had varsity experience and you're transferring schools without necessarily like a move, or you move districts, then you would only be eligible for the JV level. But those are all things that we can also talk about as we figure out if we're the best fit for you and your daughter. And then the 11th and 12th graders, they would be eligible for JV or practicing at the varsity level. So it just kind of depends on the age of the girls coming in and making sure that we know where the best fit for them will be. So once you get here, then we have fall sports, right? So we have, like I said, we have our 8 sports that we offer in the fall. Cheerleading, I know they had a lot of fun this year. We had a really big group. A lot of them actually double dipped between cheerleading and golf. Some sports that's really hard to do just because of league rules and things like that. But with cheerleading and golf, they really have great conducive schedules to be able to participate together. So there was a number of girls that did both. And cheerleading, they practice 2 times a week. We cheer for CBA, which is fun. CBA always gets a huge crowd. So there's a lot of people into it. And it's just a lot of fun for the girls to see all their classmates there and be able to cheer on CBA. So they practice twice a week, and then they have games. And sometimes they travel with the boys. Sometimes they don't. It's just home games. So that's a really awesome opportunity for those interested. We have cross country. That's coached by Mr. Cherubino. He's awesome. He also teaches Spanish and Italian as an elective here. And he is a fantastic resource when it comes to running and fitness. And he won't ever tell you this, but he was awesome in his day. I mean, fantastic runner, and he's just so enthusiastic and excited about it. And he loves the girls, and he's a great fit for the cross country indoor and outdoor programs here. So he's an awesome resource. And then we have golf. This year was awesome, actually. As a senior, Shay Hildenbrandt qualified for the state golf tournament in the spring. So she had a great season this fall, and now we're excited to be able to send her off in the spring to compete. There's a lot of girls on the team. As I said, they kind of double dipped with cheerleading. They have a great coach. He's really passionate, Coach Jim, and it's really cool to see all the girls improving. And especially on such like a lifelong skill that isn't just something that can be important now, but also as they leave school and college and they become an adult. Soccer, I'm the JV soccer coach here, and then I also help out with varsity. Our varsity coach is Chukuma Sala, and he is a fantastic mentor and leader and someone that the girls can really look up to. And his and I's philosophy especially is to make sure that they understand that it's about more than just the soccer field or the court or wherever it is. It's about life and understanding how we can always strive to be the best version of ourselves. And it doesn't matter if you had a bad day in the classroom or a bad day on the field. It still matters how you treat others and being respectful and the character, the quality of person that you are. Swimming did great this year. Morgan Lawler qualified for 2 events, almost a third event. She missed by like a 1/10 of a second, which is crazy to even fathom that time frame. But she is an awesome athlete, and it was so cool because that's the first time in actual school history that we were able to send someone to that meet. So that was a really big deal. We had a number of girls actually PR in the sectionals, which is awesome as well, especially for such a young team. So we're excited to see where they go in the next few years. Tennis, this year we had 3 girls qualify for the singles sectional tournament. It's a very crazy day for sectionals for tennis. I never realized how big it is, but they go to Schenectady. There's tons of courts and everyone's playing, and Coach Jackie's awesome. She has the JV and the varsity tennis, and the JV tennis program is really about growing and understanding the game and the technique and learning all the rules. They call their own lines. So there's a lot of character and integrity there, because you're essentially deciding if someone gives you a point or you give them a point. And so she's really big on making sure that they understand all the rules and things like that. Whereas varsity is more about the competing, still about those other intangibles, but she does a great job balancing both programs. And then volleyball, this year they lost in the sectional semifinal, but they've been the Colonial Council champions the last 2 years. And they have a great program. Nancy Knapp is the varsity coach. Her daughter's the JV coach. And they've had a ton of success here for the last pretty good while. And it's just awesome to see how excited the volleyball girls are always to go and to compete and the culture that they've created is just really special. And I think it's a really unique opportunity for girls that come here for volleyball. Move on to the winter, basketball and indoor. So the opportunities are a little bit slimmer, but still really exciting. Basketball is coached by Steve Giglio. We also have JV program. When we don't have the numbers necessarily for a JV and a varsity, we still do JV clinics where the girls come in a few days a week. They can shoot around, meet each other, and just really still be able to keep that bond and that participation level high during the winter. Varsity always, Coach Giglio, he's so passionate. He'll go on for ages if you let him. And he's just so excited about the girls and the culture that they've created and just being known in the area for playing really good, high quality basketball. This year we're on the younger side, but that's awesome because the next few years they're going to have a lot of opportunity to grow. Like I said earlier, Mr. Cherubino, he coaches indoor track as well. And that will blend right from cross country into indoor and then out to outdoor track. But it's a really cool opportunity because a lot of athletes like to use that middle portion of the year to train and meet new kids from different classes and things like that. And we always say there is a event for everyone. It's not just running. I think a lot of times we think of indoor and outdoor track as just running. Running wasn't necessarily my forte, but there's jumping and there's throwing and there's so many different activities involved in that track atmosphere that we can train the girls and help them really grow in their athleticism for their other sports as well, even if their goal isn't to necessarily be great at track. As we go into the spring, 3 options. We have lacrosse, we have JV and varsity lacrosse. Coach Jen Kish and John O'Sullivan both coach varsity. And then for the JV program right now, one of our coaches actually just got an awesome new job. So we'll see where we transition from there. But the last few years, they've done fantastic. They're always in sectional finals and championship games. And last year they went undefeated, which was really cool. To that last game, we had a tough loss, but it was really cool to see how the girls grew throughout the season and to see so much success and them really enjoying their experience. Outdoor track, like I said, blends right through with Mr. Cherubino. And the outdoor track season is a lot about helping the girls to really focus in on like the skills that they want to improve on, whether it's their speed, it's their endurance, strength, if they do shot put or discus. And it's a shorter season, which is nice as we taper out for finals and things like that. But we try to make it really fun and impactful for them so that they're enjoying the time that they're out there. Our last one is softball. They're coached by Coach Dave Tromp. He's really, really passionate about softball. He's really knowledgeable. And we have just a varsity team at the moment for softball, but the girls enjoy it. You'll see them pictured there in the middle. And there's a lot of youth on that team as well, a lot of younger players. We graduated a few girls last year. We play across the street at the brand new softball field. Actually, we haven't even broken it in yet. So it's going to be exciting. I know they're pumped and they're ready to be able to just head across the street and be able to have practice and play. But I think what's most important is that there's a high level of involvement and that all of the girls just are really enjoying each other and their school experience through sports, not just in the classroom. This last picture is I think we have 8 girls, but we actually had 9 committed last year. And it was just really cool to see out of a class of roughly 50 girls, 9 of them were able to commit to college and go in and play their sport that they love so much here and be able to go on and use that to better their college experience. And just it is a great testament to the culture here at Holy Names and really striving to be the best version of yourself that you can be. And we're working on lots of different ways for the girls to be involved even throughout the summer with clinics and camps and different ways for girls of all ages to come and be on campus and to really see what we're working on accomplishing here, which I think is just allowing as many girls as possible to really experience so many different things and find what really works for them and what they really enjoy. And then that way they can really run full speed at it and just enjoy it and see how much that they can accomplish with their skills and their talents that God has given them. So I think it's a really awesome opportunity, and I would highly encourage anyone that's looking at Holy Names to come and to try out for a team. So I think that's where we're at. And what do you got for me?
I guess, Jackie, thank you, Teagan. Thank you for presenting all of that great information about our sports program at Holy Names. We're so glad you are our athletic director, and the girls really do look up to you. So thank you for all of that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Jackie.
Jackie.
On how much you offer for a smaller school. That's wonderful. Seems like, you know, you have a little bit of everything. So whatever they're interested in, you have a lot of teams for what, 200 kids in high school? That's a lot. That's great. And so they all start the third week of August?
So all the fall sports do, yes. The schedules will vary depending on the sport. For example, like cheerleading starts they don't have like the same rules just because it's not a contact sport. So like they'll have 2 practices a week, and then they'll go right into competition, well, cheering, but their competition like with football. Whereas golf, similar, they'll have 2 days a week, maybe 3 days a week, and then they have their matches. Whereas soccer and volleyball, they kind of hit the ground running. We typically are able to get 6 or 7 practices in, and then it's scrimmages and more practices, and then right into games. Typically, you'll have a league game before the first day of school, if not right on the first day of school. So each sport kind of has its own timeline, if you could say. Tennis is a pretty short season. They're very limited by the weather. So they typically are done mid-October. Whereas soccer, volleyball, you could be playing almost till Thanksgiving. Okay. So it really kind of depends on the sport, the success of the team, but also the timeline in which it's kind of set up as. Typically, there's about a 2-month time frame for those games for the contact sports, whereas the non-contact sports is a little bit shorter.
Jackie, what sports is your daughter interested in?
Well, she doesn't play any sports right now, but I did athletics in high school and in college, and I felt it was very important, especially college, where going to a new school, and I met all my friends 2 weeks before classes started, and I was very shy, and that experience really made it for me. And I truly believe I survived going away to college because I was on a team. So we're gonna keep talking about it and looking for clinics. She has done cheerleading in the past and expressed a little interest in going back to that. And then she's also expressed track. So I think, we'll keep talking and seeing and go from there. But it sounds like it's pretty non-competitive to get on a team, or can it be competitive?
It can be competitive. The varsity level is pretty competitive, I would say, in the sense of a lot of the coaches want to place the girls in the best spot for them. So we have JV teams for the girls that are either less experienced. Typically, that's what it comes down to, is just less experience. And then the varsity teams are typically the more experienced players. It sounds like for cheerleading and for track, what's really cool is, like I said earlier with cheer, their schedule allows something to where it's possible to participate in cheer and another sport. Typically cheer is, like I said, 2 days a week, but the practice slot is a little bit later in the day. So it's easy to stack if people really want to be ambitious and go from one to another. The cross country and track scene is so intriguing to me. So I was a softball player. I was a soccer, basketball, and softball player. And my biggest regret was not doing track in high school, because now realizing it, I'm like, oh, like I could have been good at this. And I am the assistant coach for track because a lot of my certifications are in strength and conditioning and things like that. So I help Mr. Cherubino. But what's so cool, and I learned this 2 years ago when I started with him, track kids are the nicest kids. I'm not exaggerating at all. Like, it's so cool. You will never see another atmosphere where multiple teams from different schools all hanging out and talking and just enjoying each other. Like, coaches are almost frustrated at track meets because kids will be like playing hacky sack with each other, throwing a frisbee around, and you're never going to go to a soccer tournament and see girls from other teams throwing a frisbee around,
Well, they get all their frustrations out when they run, right? All those happy endorphins are pumping.
Absolutely. And that's what's so cool is like, I'm like, I've never seen an angry track kid at a meet or it's like a great way to kind of, I think, icebreaker, break that, because it is nerve wracking trying out for something new and being younger and not necessarily having experience. You feel like, as so many of the other kids, well, they don't have recreational track when you're little, right? So it's like, it's something that everyone starts out brand new in middle school and high school. And the cross country and track kids, I mean, even here, they're great kids. Like, they're so fun, so chill, down to earth, laid back. They'll help you with your homework and then go try to crush you in a workout. It's cool because it's competitive, while still being lighthearted and fun. And I think that's a really unique environment that she could really enjoy.
That's nice. So yeah, and they bond together. So that's great.
Absolutely.
Good. That sounds wonderful. Okay. Well, Anne, I finished my graduate class at 4:00, so you're on my list.
Wow. You are a busy woman. Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
It's on my list.
Congratulations with that.
Thank you. Thank you. Only one more to go and then I'll be done. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Thank you.
It's awesome.
All right. Well, if you have any questions, let me know.
I will. Yeah, this was great. It was very nice meeting you, Teagan. Sounds like you're doing a great job there.
If you have any questions, you can just shoot them to Anne or shoot them to me and we'll get back to you. So,
all right.
Thank you for coming.
You're welcome. All right. Have a great holiday.
Thank you, Jackie. You too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay. We're done. Teagan, you are like fit in so much in you just keep talking. You're just wonderful. Just wonderful.
I get nervous. I feel like I talk too fast.
No,
I get nervous.
You just get it all in, because when people are slow talkers, I think
no, absolutely not.
They just zone out. So you got everything in, and you just have this, you exude enthusiasm, and you can see your passion for girls' sports and for holy names and just little phrases. And so it was just perfect. So Ellen, I will send this to Ellen, and it's her job and she'll, fix it up or whatever she does. So anyway, I hope.
My first video? Did she tell you about my first video?
She just said she was trying. Yeah, I thought it was fine.
Oh no, but it was funny because she took the first one and then she's like, crap, I think my finger was in the way. So you know how
she didn't tell me.
So you get it out done, and then she's like, I think something went wrong. I was like, I had it perfect on the first one. So then I sat there for 20 minutes in the comments. Kiara Simontelli wants to come in and pop a bag of popcorn. So there's popcorn popping in the background. So you're sitting there and you're just like, and she's like this far away, with the camera. I was like, Ellen, there's probably 20 minutes of blooper reels of Teagan just hitting my head into the, but put it there.
Oh my gosh, you're already really good at this. So thank you. And I'm sure you're starving, so you better go home.
Yeah, I am, but that's
Thank
okay.
God tomorrow's Friday.
Oh, I know. That's what I keep telling everyone. Friday, I feel like it's been a weird week because all the girls, they know Christmas is coming, but it's not quite here. And it's just kind of that ugh.
Yes. CBA, the principal just gave the boys Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off of the week before Christmas. So I was just really hoping, Marianne would do that.
Do
Anyway.
they say right along with what they're doing? I would not be upset at all.
No,
whatsoever.
me either. Me either. I mean, how much is really going to get done those 3 days anyway? Just,
Well, and that's what I said too, because so many people, because I'm in learning workshops, so we see all the tests. So many tests happened last week. So is there going to be a 2-week assessment? Like this week and the next week, they're going to have another one? Or you're hoping that they remember it 4 weeks from now, essentially. Like, I have a feeling people will have the girls check in on Zoom and then say, okay, thanks for coming. See you later. And it's like, okay. So
yeah, I
we'll
think
see.
that's going to be, we'll see what happens. We'll see if I might mention it to her. I mentioned it to Phyllis. I said, do you know what CBA did? And she's like, oh yeah, I know. I don't know if that'll ever, you know who we're dealing with. So anyway, we got a week. We got a week to work on her. All right, go home, Teagan.
Have a good night.
All
See you
right.
later.
All right,
Bye.
bye.